So hi guys, in this video we will discuss about the forehead flap. Now what all this video will include is the vascular basis as we just discussed. Then in the flap designs we will discuss the median flap, the paramedian forehead, the oblique forehead, the transverse forehead, the Gillies variation of the forehead flap, the Vascular flap, the converse flap and the sickle cell version. So all of these mainly are the various designs of the forehead flap which can be executed primarily for nasal reconstruction but for other indications as well. Coming to the vascular basis of the forehead, what we will discuss is the blood supply starting from the medial side to the lateral side. So first of all, somewhere over here we have the dorsal nasal artery. Dorsal nasal artery is the branch of the internal carotid system. Then we have over here, this is the supratrochlear artery, which is the medial artery. It emerges roughly around 1.5 to 2.2 centimeters lateral to the midline through the supratrochlear notch or the foramen. So this is near the midline is the supratrochlear artery. Now away from the midline we have the supraorbital artery. So the dimensions of the supraorbital artery or the position of the supraorbital artery is roughly around 2.2 to 2.78 centimeters lateral to the midline. So it arises from the supraorbital notch. Now these positions are variable in different cadaver dissections, but yes, these are the anatomical locations in general of the supratrochlear as well as the supraorbital arteries. Supratrochlear and supraorbital arteries are branches of the internal carotid system. Same thing is true for the dorsal nasal artery. Then on the side we have the superficial temporal artery. So superficial temporal artery emerges in the preauricular area. Communications over here. So this particular area is the area where we have communications between the internal carotid and the external carotid systems. Is the name given to the design of the flap, the obliquity of the flap and not the vascular basis. So the base we can design it as per the requirement, as per where we want the pivot point to be, as per the arc of rotation of the flap. So this is the oblique variant. Now as we can understand, the part of the flap above this or rather distal to this, so this part of the flap is random pattern flap. This part, as you can see, we can see there is supraorbital, supratrochlear going through it. So this is the Gillies up and down variant. Again I would like to mention over here that this part of the flap goes in the hair bearing territory very likely, but again the distal part of the flap is in the non-hair bearing areas. So this design also includes tissue in the non-hair bearing area when the hair bearing skin is, or when the forehead is low set, when the hairline is low set. The drawback of this flap as compared to the paramedian flap is, yes, there is a part of the tissue of the flap which is random pattern flap. We try to take it in the ratio of 1:1, but that is not in an axial manner, so that part can create problem at times. So this is the Gillies up and down variant of the forehead flap. Then coming to the converse variant of the forehead flap. Converse variant of the forehead flap has got a very rich vascular supply. So the flap is designed somewhere like this. Aspect of the Vascular's retroauricular flap is that we harvest skin from the retroauricular area, which is again a non-hair bearing skin, and it can be used to resurface it. So our flap design goes something like this, and again it requires a state or a stage of division which is required for almost all the forehead flaps. So I think this was the general overview of the various forehead flap